This is Daniel R. Levi with ReviewStash.com, and today we're going to be taking a closer look at the Sentey 850 watt power supply. It features a 7-year warranty, high quality 100% Japanese Kimicon capacitors, flat modular cables, an 80 plus certification, and a single strong 12 volt rail. Let's see if this power supply lives up to the fantastic specifications. Sentey did a great job with the product packaging. Inside of the box you'll see a lot of fantastic padding, a modular cable pouch, the power supply itself, and plenty of other extra accessories. Among those accessories are the sturdy power cable, full instruction manual, and, a great addition, the thumb screws. As previously mentioned in the specification, there's a lot of modular cables, which can be great for SLI rigs. The fan is 140 millimeters, but we were not able to determine the RPM of it, which is kind of a disappointment. There's the modular connectors on the back, a large grill for great heat dissipation, and the active PFC logo. And, as we can see by the quality electrical components like the X capacitors and transient filter, this power supply will definitely do a solid job of preventing ripple and will make sure that the power that's delivered to your components is quality. The PCB is of high quality, and so are all of the soldering joints. But I will mention that I am somewhat disappointed because a lot of the connectors in this power supply actually are not modular. It would be great to see Sentey improve on that in the future. To test the power supply, we used a multimeter to directly determine the value of the 12 volt rail and OCCT software. In testing the 12 volt rail, we determined the drop in terms of ripple to be just a bit under 1%, which is very good. Testing the V-core also showed consistent results, meaning that this power supply will be great for overclockers. The 3.3 volt, while not as great as the 12 in the V-core, is still definitely solid. The build quality of the unit is top-notch. The components that Sentey chose are very great. As we saw in testing, the ripple on the 12 volt rail is suppressed within 1%, which is incredible. The 140 millimeter fan and components are quiet, and the price versus other 80 plus gold units is very fair. The unit did get somewhat warm during testing, but I'll chalk this up to the silent fan and the large amount of components used. The only negatives I have are that the unit itself is overly large compared to other power supplies in its class. It's about 1 or 1.5 inch larger. What this means is if you have a micro ATX chassis, you definitely won't be able to fit this particular power supply in there. I wasn't able to put this in my Cooler Master Elite case. This power supply is much larger than my 750 watt Cooler Master power supply, but if you're in a large case, you should be okay. Other than that, in terms of negatives, I would also like to mention that the unit itself is not fully modular. It is a semi-modular design, as we saw during the unit overview. And what this means is you have a lot of, well, not a lot, a few cables that are hardwired that you aren't able to remove. And normally this would be okay if those connectors that they chose were, say, a set of serial ATA connectors along with your one video card connector, non-SLI or Crossfire, and the motherboard power connectors. But what I think is very wasteful with this design, Sentey chose to include 2 processor power connectors, which most people aren't using 2 processors, and they don't need that second connector. So I definitely feel that Sentey should improve in that regard with their semi-modular design. But other than that, this power supply is absolutely fantastic. A solid build quality again, great components, great performance. I was not able to test the efficiency, but if it's 80 plus gold, then it definitely should be able to live up to that given the ripple we saw. So overall, a good buy, very comparative and competitive in terms of pricing. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions about this product or anything else, please leave them in the comments, and have a great day.